Hey, HTDA, and welcome back to Techtonica. As you can see from our growing tree of research, we're actually getting quite a bit into the mid-game now. At least, actually I have no idea if it's the mid-game, but it feels like the mid-game because we're far from our pitiful starting mining drills and stuff like that, because we completely automated our planters over here, although they seem to have stopped right now. Why have you stopped? Oh, you can't actually get rid of your fuel. Well, we are actually so successful at producing the plants that we have too much stuff of that going on. That's actually going to be of use in a moment, but first let me show you what I added to the factory since our last episode. It's not that much. I just added a couple of assemblers over here, just so I could actually build buildings a little bit more efficiently. As you can see, I am now making 3 different types of inserters. The normal ones, the filter ones, as well as the long ones that I actually haven't used yet, but you can use those to transport items over a longer distance, as the name implies. And as you can see, my power supply is now over here, because I needed a lot more power to actually make sure everything kept working all the time. So the power was initially over here, but it's now over here. Now, there's actually quite a few things that we need to do. We need, for the main quest, 180 plant matter frames, as well as a ton of iron and copper. Now, the iron and copper itself is not necessarily a problem. That's just a matter of time and having these drills work. And we can actually speed that up quite a bit by making sure we unlock the speed upgrades to the drill, as well as let's see, where is it? Over here, the smelting speed. So you can both upgrade the smelting speed and so also the drill speed. What we can also upgrade is the biodensity of the bricks, which basically means that we have bricks that are then 25% more efficient, so they fuel everything 25% longer. So that's very, very useful as well. And in order to do all of that, we're going to need a ton of science. So I am actually mass producing science at the moment. But by the looks of it, it actually feels like this thing is not longer able to put the science anywhere useful either. So what I'm probably going to have to do is place the science in a more central spot, maybe like over here. And yeah, then we'll take it from there. Well, I just unlocked the core composer in the technology tree, and no, the game is not on pause. This is actually how fast it's being produced, even if I put it in an assembler. While we're waiting for that to do its work, remember that we need 180 plant matter frames. Now, we make those from, let's check that out, from the plant matter fiber. So that's the stuff we actually have way too much of. So rather than making a complicated process to completely automate that, what we can simply do is add an assembler here, set that to plant matter frames, and then just dump the remaining plant matter fibers that we have in there. Now this is going to produce about 200 of these, so that's actually already enough to complete this quest, and that is just by dumping it in one. So every now and then doing something manually I don't think is necessarily such a big problem, as long as you don't have to repeatedly do it too often. Now I noticed that the overproduction of the purple cores are actually still going into this facility. So I was kind of wondering where they went, but apparently if you have outputting inserters on a belt as well, they'll just output the excess, and well, you can see there's a bit of recycling going on, but basically the overflow is now being put into storage, so I can actually use that science again. And there we go, science production is on its way, or not necessarily just the production, but also the actual implementation of it. Now you might be wondering, TBA, why don't we just remove this ugly thing over here? Well, it's not that ugly, but it's a little bit messy. The simple reason is if you remove the core composer, the actual science should still stays in place, so you would actually have to manually remove those. Considering I can't actually fly up that far, that is a project that I'm not really interested in at the moment, especially considering we have quite a bit of things to do this episode as well. However, first things first, we can now upgrade the mining speed of our drills. That's going to help a lot to get those ingots up and running. We can also upgrade the smelting speed, which is going to be immensely useful, and in a moment I will also upgrade the biodensity of the bricks, just so we have our fuel last 25% longer. Alright, so while we wait for the ingots and plant matter frames to be constructed, we also have 2 different quests to do stuff with processor units, but we also have this blinking light that we unlocked last time because we built the planters and the threshers. So let's see where this leads.
Signal triangulated. New location added to HUD. Beware of current.
Okay, so beware of current. It's actually in that direction. We can look at the map. Can we tell where we're going? Maybe over there somewhere? But what's more interesting is there was a mention of current, so that suggests that it's something to do with electricity. Do we have another one unlocked?
Signal triangulated. New location added to HUD. Beware of current.
Ah, that was the same one, right? This is strange that it keeps blinking, but anyway. But in order to get there, I'm assuming that we're going to need to complete that quest that just says we need 300 processor units and 800 advanced circuits. There's just one problem. I don't think we have advanced circuits in our technology tree just yet. We do have the processor unit over here, which we can unlock. That's not a problem, but I'm pretty sure I haven't seen... It's probably in the next tier, actually. We haven't actually found the advanced circuits just yet, so I'm actually thinking... I'm gonna check it out just to make sure, but there's a good chance we can't actually get into this area just yet. Having followed the signal a little bit, it seems to be pointing in this direction, so current could actually have something to do with the actual water. There's also something over here, and it looks like there's something over here, so let's go through this wall into this corridor and find out. Well, this is different and very pink. Ooh, what's over here?
Fun fact, Breaker. Before they adjusted our suits for them, those creeper plants used to reach out and try to grab anybody who walked by. Got so common that it became a rite of passage for people who joined Deep Recon. Spaghetti got her call sign off of it.
Okay, so we have like grabbing plants. That doesn't seem like a thing that's Anyway, I have a kind of an inclination to completely torch the place now. It's just that I can't. Okay, anyway, what's over here? So it seems to be like a little bit of a dam situation going on here. Broken dam, but anyway. Also, there's these machines that I can actually activate. They're not connected for the moment, but I can activate them. Can I scan these? Some of them I can, some of them I can't. Ooh, but look, these are actually powered by the water. Ooh, that's so interesting. Which ones of these can I scan? These I can scan. Water wheel fragments. Ooh, this is going to be so much fun. So, let's see. What's over here?
The sooner you scan these water wheels, the closer you'll be to never having to turn a crank generator again. We should check out that office, too.
That was exactly what I was doing, and not having to ever pull a crank generator again sounds like a very, very worthwhile thing. So let's see, we have another one of these blue core fragments, yep. And what's this? Oh, that was another high voltage thingy, I believe. Let's get through here as well. It's another one of those. And let's check out the office. Entrance offline. Okay, so this is the one where we need the advanced circuits and the processor units, which we don't actually have. We actually have some advanced circuits, but we definitely have nowhere near 800 for these just yet.
Facility access door unavailable.
I guess we're not getting in.
Refer to display panel for self-repair requirements.
Ooh, look at all the juicy stuff in there. Yeah. Oh, there's actually something over here as well. Voltage auto step tech now available. So at least we got something out of this. Until we can open the door to this at least. And then there's 2 more things inside. I'm so excited about that. We just unlocked this thing though, so that's going to be amazing. Just one tiny problem. The water wheel is actually in the next tier of technology. And to make matters even worse, the high voltage cable is in the tier after that, and the voltage auto step is in the tier after that. So it's actually interesting that you unlock these this early on, because now you kind of know what to expect, what's to come, at least partially, because there's a lot more stuff over here. But it also gives us a goal to work towards. Now, just as an experiment, I'm actually wondering what happens if we connect up these power floors over here and over here. Because these things are working. Does that mean these start charging? Not necessarily, but maybe we first need to hit the crank. Then maybe these get powered on? And this gets charged? I'm not entirely sure this is working like I thought it would for the moment, but I guess we'll find out once we can actually build the water wheels ourselves. However, we'll have that other tower over there, so let's go and check that one out. Okay, that looks really interesting, but how do I get up there? Well, through the stairs in the back, obviously, that I, for some reason, completely missed the first time I was looking at the building. Is there anything we can scan over here? Nope. Nope. I'm getting a little bored of all those closed doors, guys. Couldn't you have left these open for, you know, the people that are trying to, like, rebuild civilization over here? Door? 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 No? No? Oh, look, it's another closed door. Monorail tracks and cooling systems, both of which I don't currently have. So I'm going to assume we're going to go back here probably a few episodes from now. Now at this point I pretty much need processor units for everything to unlock a new destination, to unlock the 2 doors. The one problem with that though is that in order to make those I need electrical components, and those need both iron ingots and copper ingots, and I also need the plant matter frames, all of which I also need to unlock the next tier of research. So I'm just going to go and focus on that first. Honestly, I don't really have to do anything for that because we have everything in production already. It's just a matter of waiting and making sure we are making those plant matter frames over here. So if I did my math correctly, we should have enough for all of this. Something that's really annoying, by the way, is that this thing keeps pinging with the location that we already discovered. Anyway, this should give us another upgrade for
Terminal upgraded. New technologies and recommended tasks available.
The tech tree is really opening up now, Breaker. Water wheels and mining charges are both going to be things I promise you won't know how you got this far without. Cooling systems will probably help you open up a lot of broken, overheated facility doors in the sector too. And keep an eye out for those blue research core fragments.
Okay, so to the water wheels we go. Okay, so just looking at the broken down facility over here, we actually get a pretty good idea how the crank generators and water wheels are supposed to go together. And it does say so in the description, but I again really like that they're basically showing you rather than just telling you. But yeah, the idea is pretty simple. You put the water wheel connected to a crank generator, the water makes the wheel turn, and the water wheel makes the crank generator turn. So I no longer have a button over here that I need to push, because this is actually taking care of that by the crank generator. You can see that there is a certain ratio that we're probably looking for in terms of the water wheels versus the power converters. Not entirely sure yet how that will work. We'll have to find out, I suppose. But you can see the basic layout here. Put some accumulators, put some crank generators, put some water wheels, put some more generators, and, well, maybe some power stations as well. But the general idea is this is going to be very, very useful in completely automating the electric power in your base. It also means I feel like this is a pretty good time to completely redesign the base, but before we do that, we first have to set up a power facility. In the meanwhile, I actually got another message from Sparks that actually told me you can put biobricks into the machines with the means of an inserter, which I thought I tested, but apparently I did a test wrong, and by now there's probably a few dozen comments in the previous video telling me that I was stupid and that you can actually do that. But combined with the fact that we can now automate our electric power and that we can actually automatically supply our smelters and drills and stuff like that with fuel, we're probably going to have to completely redesign the entire base, like I was already intending, but now we have 2 reasons to do that, so yeah. What I'm thinking is, we have all this water here, we have this waterfall making sure the water flows. If we set up like a power facility over here, then that could be like the starting point for our new and improved facility. We can work outwards from here, and we don't actually have to tear down this until we have something good to go. Well, step 1, I was actually trying to kind of carve out a bit more of this river, but you can't. So I'm guessing that's just the game's way of protecting you against completely demolishing the entire map. Bit of a shame, honestly, but I guess we'll just have to deal with it. Oh man, look at this. How beautiful is this completely automated electric power? It takes forever to actually craft these things though, so that's going to be a thing. But we have to scale this up so badly. The nice thing is I can actually connect this already to my platform that I have, just by extending this a little bit, and then just make sure that all the electricity I'm now currently already making is actually put to use. Okay, so this is very interesting. I actually put a set of power floors on top of the machine, and as you can see, this is actually already charging the floor, so I don't actually even have to connect the floors to each other. Just building it on top of the generator works, and as you can see, this accumulator is now fully charged, even though it's not connected to anything else. So this actually makes powering your facility, like, from the ground floor up a lot more convenient and easy to do. This is amazing. Alright, so do you remember this simple facility over here with the crank generators that we had to crank every 5 minutes just to keep it working? That was only producing a measly 2400 kilowatts? Well, now I present to you the power farm. This is super exciting, I have to say, because this is actually very fun to build. It's very straightforward to build as well. Each of these water wheels actually powers 2 of the crank generators, completely automated, and this setup alone already produces 4 times the amount of power that the other facility was producing, and it does so completely by itself. So that means we have indefinite electric power now, and it also means that we can actually completely automate the biofuel production as well. Which then means that we can pretty much automate our entire facility completely running on both biofuel as well as electric power without us having to interfere at all. To say I'm really excited about getting started with that would be an understatement. So this is going to be super exciting, and I hope you're excited about that too, because that is exactly what we're going to be doing in the next episode. For now, I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am, because this was a little bit of a short episode, but it was a very important one, and I do hope to catch you in the next one.